Hi, I'm Kate, and this is Jacob, and we are from Any Bulldog. We have had our Bulldog Daisy for 1 week now, and we are going to share 10 surprising things we've learned about owning a Bulldog during the first week.
Number one. So one thing that's been kind of surprising to me, you need to go walk your dog, but Daisy, um, they bulldogs are known that they actually need to go out walking a couple times a day. So you usually need to plan to go in the morning and the evening, and you need to be out. They say about 15, maybe 30 minutes at most between that per walking episode. But what I've learned is how important walking really is with a bulldog. They rest a lot, they sleep a lot, and walking helps to relax them quite a bit so that they can be in that restful state when they come home. It also helps them a lot with their bowel movements. It's kind of gross, but it's true. It helps them so that they have normal bowel movements. And even just for their feeding patterns and everything, it helps them to be regular with everything that they need throughout the day. Something that's been surprising though is Daisy loves walking when we get out of the house. Before we get out of the house, she's super reluctant. She'll fall on the ground and she'll roll on her back and she wants us to rub her belly and play with her and pet her and whatnot. But once we get her harness on, she's pretty much ready to go. And then we get her out the door. And after that, it's game over. She just loves being outside, loves getting exercise, good temperature or bad. The other thing that we've learned in regards to walking is the importance of just having something warm because weather's getting kind of cold here. It's getting closer to winter, so we bought her a jacket because bulldogs they need that extra protection for them when they're out in the cold. They don't have thick fur, um, so they can easily get colder. So we got her a jacket, but that's one of the first things that I learned about bulldogs.
Yes, the other reason we have a Bulldog jacket for Daisy is because they can't control their internal temperature very well through their breathing because of their squished up faces. It just doesn't work very well. The second thing that we learned is when they say bulldogs love attention and affection, they are not lying. She loves it. She expects full on belly rubs, ear scratches. She just wants to be pet for a good 15 minutes.
Gimme,
Every
gimme, gimme!
Yes.
I need.
Yes, every time we walk in the door. And we have 3 kids, and normally when I walk in the door, I have things in my hands. I have to go to the bathroom. There's always a list of things that I have to do or I need to do. But here's this bulldog now who has been alone for a long time and she's ready for some love. And it's like, okay. And I'm also not just a naturally affectionate person, so this has been a learning curve for me. Because life's hard. This has been a learning curve for me to learn to put the things down and really just give all that love and attention to Daisy. And the funny thing is, at night, she really, when the kids are in bed and we're all quiet and settled in for the night, she won't settle down unless we are right next to her, sitting down. We have to give her a lot of pets, a lot of ear scratches. And after about 15 or 20 minutes, she's asleep and snoring.
Another thing that we've learned about Daisy and bulldogs is gas. We knew this because we studied a lot. We knew okay they're gonna have gas and it's gonna stink. And we've had dogs, we've had pets in the past, and they can stink. But she has by far blown away any pet I've ever owned with her gas and the stench of her gas.
Yes.
Part of that though is diet. We've learned that diet is so important for a bulldog because if they're just eating scraps or whatever type food, they're not really good at digesting a lot of foods, and because of that poor digestion, she's going to have worse gas and more frequent gas. So it's been important for us to say, okay, we want to get food again that doesn't have much or doesn't have grains in it. We want to get food that's going to be more organic based and that's just healthy for a bulldog. And then also, again, that routine, we've talked about it. Just going on walks, getting her out of the house, keeping her active. That helps her relieve gas, and also it helps her system just to work more regular, using the restroom how she needs to, etc. But her gas has blown me away how bad it was initially, but now it's actually a lot more manageable. And even though she still has gas, it's not nearly as bad as what it was when we first got her at the beginning of the week.
Yes, it is true. That first night we had Daisy, I don't know if it was just nerves being in a new house or I'm sure maybe it was a combination of both with the poor diet she had before. We know she had a poor diet at her former home, but it was bad. It was bad, and I was just like, our whole house is gonna smell like dog farts. In a few days, this is just gonna be our life. The next thing that I learned was, bulldogs learn pretty quickly. People often ask if bulldogs are smart dogs or if they're dumb dogs or how intelligent they are compared to other dogs, but Daisy is very smart. We wanted her to use the bathroom on a certain side of the yard where our kids aren't playing and stuff, just so we don't have to worry about them when they go out and play and what are they stepping in. And we've only had to lead her a couple times to a certain side of the yard, and now that's where she goes. And at the beginning she was going on the side where we walk a lot. We don't want her going over there a ton, so it's only been a couple times and she's learned from us leading her, like, this is where you go to the bathroom. The other thing is, when we first brought her home, she had a lot of phantom barking. She would go outside and just start barking, and I could not figure out what it was. She'd be in our back room and she would run to the front of the house and look out the window, and she would just bark her head off. And I couldn't see cats out there. There weren't people out there or birds. I didn't hear anything, but obviously there was something that maybe bothered her. But we brought her, we said, Daisy, no barking, come sit. And we'd bring her back to the back room and we'd say, sit down, no barking. And we'd say, good girl, give her lots of love and affection. And as the week has progressed, we've noticed a lot less phantom barking. There's a lot of other dogs in our neighborhood. Our neighbors have dogs. She'd go out there and bark at them, but as the week has gone on, whenever we've heard her barking in the backyard, we bring her in, say no barking, give her lots of love and affection after she's kind of had her little no barking, and she's learning. The other thing is, the previous family fed her from the table and she'd hop up on our chairs and stuff, and apparently that was okay at that house because that's how she's learned. But we don't feed from the table at our house, and we've had to teach her to stay down. And one night we did get really strict with her and we made her sit away from the table, and she stayed there. So it's something that we have to work on and be really consistent about, because some nights we're more consistent than others. Some nights I just want to sit down and eat my dinner and not deal with the dog. But right now, if we're consistent, she will learn quickly.
Daisy, and she really has done a great job at learning
She
fast.
has.
And it's funny because we've also learned, I feel like, little things that have even startled her and been like, this is what's triggered maybe barking or triggered this reaction. And so we're able to correct it with her or help her understand it's like, it's okay. This is a normal noise. It's okay.
We have 3 kids, so it gets noisy sometimes.
They're gonna run. They're gonna jump. Things are gonna fall. Doors are gonna slam. Yeah, but she's been doing great. But leading to that, because of our 3 kids, she's very kid friendly. We have a daughter who's our middle child, and she loves on Daisy, and she talks with a high voice, and she's like, hey Daisy, I love you, Daisy. Good girl, good girl. And she's super friendly. But Daisy likes it, and Daisy actually rolls over on her belly quite a bit around her too when she comes by, because she knows that that's the affection she likes from our daughter. And she'll get pet and stuff, but our daughter gets really close to Daisy. If there was a bubble for her, she doesn't have it when our daughter's there. And then our boy, he likes to be around Daisy too. He likes spending that time with her, talking to her, taking her on walks. when he can. And then we have our youngest child, who he likes to be doing what everybody else is doing, and he's only 2 years old, so he's learning. But he is probably the roughest with her because he doesn't get that difference. I mean, he's jumping on his brother and sister and tackling them and playing with them at the same time, super friendly. And he does the same thing with Daisy because Daisy's like part of the family. So he'll go play with her and he'll pet her, but then he'll just maybe push on her or he'll sit on her. And it's just like, this is what you do with everybody. You do that with us. It's like owning two bulldogs. One's a kid and one's an actual dog. But Daisy has been very friendly with our youngest child. And it's been good to know that, because that was kind of a semi-concern of mine, is how is she going to react to our child? And she's been doing great, actually. So she's very kid-friendly. And that's known for bulldogs. They're very kid-friendly, but she's been amazing. I can't say enough, really.
Yes, our youngest will poke her eyes, poke her nose. He's full on laid across her body with all of his body weight. And she really just lays there and takes it. I'm more of the nervous one, like, she's gonna get mad at you and bark at you or snip you, or...
And we tell him not to do that too.
Mhm,
so
we
we're
do.
not like saying, oh, that's fine, whatever.
No.
But we get him off. But
Yes.
she's been very calm, and he's learning too. He's learning what he can, what he should do and what he shouldn't do.
Yes. Okay, the next thing that I have learned about Daisy this week, and bulldogs in general, is they are, as they say, they are strong dogs. Daisy, we've been told that she is friendly with other dogs, and we haven't come across many on our walks yet, but the couple times we've seen other dogs, she hasn't been very friendly with them. The first time we saw a dog, since I wasn't sure, my son had the leash, and I said, I need the leash back, because I wasn't sure how Daisy would react. And I was glad I did, because it took both my arms, and I was leaning back with my body weight to hold her back. So she's very, very strong. And honestly, that incident kind of made me nervous to let our 8-year-old boy hold on to that leash, because we just don't know how she's going to react very well yet. And until we do, I don't think it's safe for him to go out alone on a walk with Daisy. She's a very, very strong dog.
Yes, she is. The other thing that we've learned in this first week, and Kate's touched on a little bit, was just being welcoming. She's very receptive. So whether that's she's in bed and when she wakes up in the morning, whether it's we're gone and we come home from somewhere, or maybe it's just Kate that's gone and she's coming home, or I'm just gone and I'm coming home. When anybody comes, and it's just like when she wakes up or anything, she's just very warm and receptive. She just jumps with joy at us. She has her little tiny tail and it barely moves, but it kind of moves all over the place however it moves. And then just her emotions. She'll roll on her stomach or her back and have her stomach on full display because she wants us to scratch her belly. She'll jump on up with her paws. And again, she's a strong dog. I mean, it's a 45 pounds of pure blissful joy jumping at you. Today was probably one of the first times that I saw her blissfully jumping on our youngest child,
who pokes her.
But she jumped on him a couple of times, actually.
Almost knocked him over. I had to hold him back up.
Right. And it was really funny. It was kind of fun to see that, because she was giving everybody loves, because she likes the kids. But she was going around to everybody and just running up to them and just wanting to get pet and just really emotional. But she's so welcoming. And I feel like sometimes it's a lot to take on, because your hands might be full or you're trying to put some things down. But it's kind of fun to receive that warm reception, to come home and just have a dog just leap at you and just lap at you. And lots of dogs do that, but it's just, she's so big. And just how she just blows you away. But that's been kind of interesting to see just her reaction and how much of it she's showing for everybody.
Yes. The next thing that I've been surprised about are her sounds. We knew that bulldogs snored, and the previous family did tell us that yes, she snores, but she snores like a grown man sometimes. Like it is loud. Her whole body starts shaking. It's some intense snoring. But besides the snoring, she also purrs. Like when she's excited to see us, she kind of has this. She purrs like a cat, but it's louder when she's hopping up on us, and it's just this low grumble type thing, but it's the cutest thing. And
we'll get it recorded sometime.
Yeah, we're gonna try and record that. The other thing she does is she has this big burp after she eats. Pretty much every time she eats, yes. It's this blah. And at first I was like, "Are you okay? Are you gonna throw up?" But
are you angry?
Yeah, I couldn't.
Her mouth and everything opens up like why?
Yeah, we thought she was growling, but we're pretty sure it's just like this burp now, and maybe she's eating too quickly. I don't know, but I didn't know dogs could burp, but that's kind of what we're assuming it is she's burping after she eats. So yes, when they say bulldogs snore and they're loud and they grunt and have all these weird different noises, it's all true.
It's all true. The next one that we wanted to talk about was just crate training.
Mm-hmm.
So I've owned dogs, and Kate's had pets, but I've never had a pet that's necessarily been crate trained. Like they've been house trained. She's house trained too, but I've never had a pet that's been truly crate trained, and that has been such a blessing. Mostly where we adopted her, we didn't know her. She's a little bit older. There's a lot that she has to get accustomed to in our home. So crate training has been huge. At night, we've been able to put her in, and she's just walked straight in.
She loves it.
Yeah, she really does. She knows it's nap time. She goes to bed, and it's fine. When we have to leave in the day, usually we're home quite a bit, but if we have to leave during the day because Kate's running errands, I'm at work, or whatever, again, she'll just walk into it. We do have some moments where she might stop by our crate because she's just like, well, I want to spend time with you, and you give her some love, and then she'll go in. But she's fine. She doesn't make a peep. And then when we come home, she's just ready to go. She's excited. But crates, when a dog's trained in it and they're new to your home, there's a sense of comfort and security being in a crate when people leave. Being somewhere where it's kind of unfamiliar, I mean, it's going to cause some anxiety. You're trying to see, okay, where can I go? You might be clawing at things or chewing on things. She likes to jump on things, on our furniture and such. So there's lots of those habits, but when it's crate chained, it helps so there's not all that anxiety and boredom, and it also just helps even for like potty controls. She's not peeing everywhere. Dogs don't naturally like to pee where they sleep. And even though she's potty trained, coming to a new household, we've had a pet that we've watched that before that peed in our home because they were nervous, they didn't know what to do. But being crate trained, she could go in there. She hasn't had an accident yet, and I don't think she will.
Knock on wood.
Unless she gets sick or something, but I don't think she really will. But it's been perfect. And we come home, we open the crate, she runs outside, goes to the bathroom, comes back inside, and she's ready to relax with the family.
Yes. The last point we wanted to touch on is how easily she's adapted to our family life. That's been surprising to me. We have a routine, and she just goes along right with it. She knows what to expect now, and she just goes with the flow. She's here for the ride, and she's happy to do it, and it's been great. Our routine, we've only had her for a week. It's been the week of Thanksgiving. The kids have been off school, so it's been a little bit different. And this coming week, we'll kind of fall into, our mornings are going to be a little bit faster. Mm-hmm. But she's just along for the ride. And she has been, what I've been most surprised about is how smooth this whole transition has been. Mm-hmm. She's just kind of become a part of our family from, I'd say, the second day.
Really? Yeah.
The first day was a little exhausting, and I was kind of wondering what we just got ourselves into. But that second day, it was a night and day difference. She just was ready to go. She was ready to be part of the family. It was a little bit sad because when I thought about it, at the end of the day, and I realized like she really did know that it was time for her to leave her old family. And that kind of broke my heart a little bit, thinking about watching her say goodbye and how nervous she was with us. But just, we welcomed her, and she learned to trust us really quickly. She did.
Yeah. We're grateful to have Daisy in our house, and be part of our family. But those are 10 things that were surprising to us. We did tons of research. We've read a lot of information about bulldogs. But whenever you have a bulldog or any pet, there's always things that you're going to learn where it's like, oh, this is different, or they're getting accustomed to this at home. But those are 10 things that have been surprising to us. Thanks for coming today and listening to us and learning more about our adventures with Daisy. And if you like the information that's been shared, please subscribe to our channel, like it, and also visit our website at anybulldog.com just to learn more tips about how to care for and take and train and set your bulldog. But thank you for coming.
Bye.